The question is, let C1 and C2 be the inscribed and circumscribed circles of a triangle with sides 3 cm, 4 cm and 5 cm. Now, we have a right angle triangle. The circumradius of a right angle triangle is equals to the half of the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse we have is 5 cm. Therefore, the circumradius would be equal to 2.5 centimeters. Coming to the end radius, we have that end radius is equals to area upon semi-perimeter. Using this formula, we get the end radius as 1 centimeter. Now, we are asked about the area of C1 upon C2. That would be equal to 1 square upon 2.5 ka whole square. And through this, we get our answer as 4 upon 25. Therefore, the correct option is option C.
The question is, if x is equals to 1 upon root 2 plus 1, then x plus 1 equals to. Now we have x is equals to 1 upon root 2 plus 1. If we rationalize this function, we will get root 2 minus 1 in the numerator and root 2 plus 1 into root 2 minus 1 in the denominator. Now we will get the value of x as root 2 minus 1 upon 1, because the denominator would be root 2 whole square minus 1 square, and that gives us 1. In this question, we are asked the value of x plus 1, so that would be root 2 minus 1 plus 1, and that would give us the answer as root 2. So our correct option is D, that is root 2. The question is, the pie chart given here shows expenditure incurred by a family on various items and their savings. Study the chart and answer the questions based on the pie chart. Our first question is, if the monthly income is rupees 36,000, then the yearly savings is. As I can see from the pie chart that the central angle for savings is 60 degree out of 360 degree, that is 1/6 of 360 degree. So I can say that savings is 1/6 of the monthly income. So 1/6 of the monthly income, that is 36,000, is equals to rupees 6,000. If my monthly savings is rupees 6,000, then my yearly savings would be equal to 6,000 into 12, that is equals to rupees 72,000. So my correct option is A. Coming to the next question, the question is, if the expenditure on education is rupees 1,600 more than that of housing, then the expenditure on food is. Coming to the pie chart, I can say that the expenditure on education is 70 degree and the expenditure on housing is 54 degree. Then the difference between them is 70 minus 54, that is equals to 16 degree. Now the difference in terms of the rupees is given as 1600. So I can say 16 degree is equals to rupees 1600, or 1 degree is equals to rupees 100. Now the expenditure spent on food is 120 degree. So in terms of rupees, it would be 120 into 100, that is equals to rupees 12,000. So our correct answer is option B. The next question is, the ratio of expenditure on food to savings is. The expenditure on food is 120 degree and the expenditure on savings is 60 degree. So the ratio comes out to be 2:1. So in this question, our correct option is option A. The question is, the average marks obtained by a student in 6 subjects is 88. On subsequent verification, it was found that the marks obtained by him in a subject was wrongly copied as 86 instead of 68. The correct average of the marks obtained by him is. Now, there is a difference of 18 marks between 86 and 68. Therefore, this 18 marks will be equally distributed between the number of subjects, that is 6. So, there would be a decrease of 3 marks in each of the subject, and there is a decrease because the new marks, that is 68, are less than the previous marks, that is 86. So, when there is a decrease of 3 marks in each subject, so there would be a decrease of 3 marks from the average as well. So, the new average comes out to be 88 minus 3, that is 85. So our correct option is option A. The question is, given here a multiple bar diagram of the scores of 4 players in 2 innings. Study the diagram and answer the questions. The first question is, the average run of 2 innings of the player who scored highest in average is. From the bar diagram, we can see that adding the runs of both the innings, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is scoring the highest among all the 4 players. So the average of his runs is 80 plus 60 by 2, that is equals to 140 by 2 or 70 runs. So the correct option is option D. Coming to the next question, the average run in 2 innings of the player who has scored minimum at the second innings is. From the bar graph we can see that Cheteshwar Pooja is scoring minimum in the second innings. So the average run scored by him is 70 plus 10 by 2, that is equals to 80 by 2, that is equal to 40. So in this question the correct option is option C. Coming to the third question, the average score in second innings contributed by the 4 players is. The average would be 80 plus 50 plus 10 plus 20 divided by 4. This would come out as 160 by 4 or 40 runs. So in this question the correct option is option C. Coming to the next question, the total scores in the first innings contributed by the 4 players is. So the total of the scores is 60 plus 50 plus 70 plus 30. This would come out as 210 runs. So in this question the correct option is option C. Our question is, if the volume of a sphere is numerically equal to its surface area, then its diameter is. The volume of a sphere, that is 4 pi 3 pi r cube, is given equal to its surface area, that is 4 pi r square. From this equation we can get r is equals to 3 centimeter. In this question we are asked about the diameter of the sphere. So the diameter of the sphere would be equal to 2 into radius of the sphere, and that would give us as 2 into 3 or 6 centimeters. So our correct option is option D. The question is, a train runs at an average speed of 75 km per hour. If the distance to be covered is 1050 kilometers, how long will the train take to cover it? Now, as in every option, the time is more than 10 hours. So, in 10 hours, with the speed of 75 km per hour, the distance that can be covered is 750 km. So, the remaining distance is 1050 minus 750, that is equals to 300 kilometers is the remaining distance that is to be covered with the speed of 75 km per hour. This comes out as 4 hours. So the total distance is covered in 14 hours. So our correct option is option C. The question is, G is the centroid of triangle ABC. The medians AD and BE intersect at right angles. If the lengths of AD and BE are 9 cm and 12 cm respectively, then the length of AB in centimeter is. Now, we have a triangle ABC. AD is the median, BE is the median, and both the medians are intersecting at a point centroid, that is G. Now, we all know that the centroid divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. So, if AD is 9 cm, then AO would be 2 by 3 of 9 cm, that is equals to 6 cm, and BO would be equal to 2 by 3 of 12 cm, that is equals to 8 cm. Now both the medians are intersecting at right angles, so AB would be equal to 6 square plus 8 square is equals to AB square using the Pythagoras theorem. Through this we get AB is equals to 10 cm. So our correct option is option A. The question is, the minimum value of 2 sin square theta plus 3 cos square theta is. Now we all know that sin square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. From the given expression, 2 sin square theta plus cos square theta plus cos square theta. Now we get the value of this as 2 into 1, that is 2 plus cos square theta. Now to get the minimum value of this expression, we have to make this term as 0, and cos square theta is 0 only at theta equals to 90 degree. So we put theta equal to 90 degree and we get the minimum value is 2. So the correct option is option C. The question is, if the three angles of a triangle are x plus 15 degree, 6x by 5 plus 6 degree and 2x by 3 plus 30 degree, then the triangle is. As we all know that the sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So x plus 15 degree plus 6x by 5 plus 6 degree plus 2x by 3 plus 30 degree is equals to 180 degree. From this equation we get 43x upon 15 is equals to 129 degree. 43 into 3 is equals to 129. So we get x is equals to 45 degree. Putting x in all the angles, 45 plus 15 will give us 60 degree. 6x by 5 plus 6 degree will also give us 60 degree. And 2x by 3 plus 30 degree will also give us 60 degree. So when all the angles are equal, the triangle is a equilateral triangle. So our correct answer is option D. The question is, if the number of vertices, edges and faces of a rectangular parallelepiped are denoted by V, E and F respectively, the value of V minus E plus F is. Now, the rectangular parallelepiped can be taken as similar to a cube or cuboid. Therefore, the number of vertices is 8, the number of edges is 12 and the number of faces are 6. So, substituting the values in this expression, we get the answer as 2. So, the correct option is option B. The question is, 5 persons will live in a tent if each person requires 16 meter square of floor area and 100 meter cube of space air, then the height of the cone of smallest size to accommodate these persons would be. The total floor area would be equal to 5 into 16, that is equals to 80 meter square. The total amount of air required would be 5 into 100, that is equals to 100 into 5, it is equals to 500 meter cube. Now, the volume of the cone is given by 1 by 3 pi r square h is equals to 500 meter cube. So, pi r square is formulated as 80 meter square. So 1 by 3 into 80 into h is equals to 500. This gives us h as 18.75 meter. So the correct option is option A. The question is, if the altitude of an equilateral triangle is 12 root 3 centimeter, then its area would be. We have an equilateral triangle whose altitude is given as 12 root 3. The angle at this vertex would be equal to 60 degree. Now using tan 60 equal to P by B, we get the base, half of the base as 12 centimeter. If half of the base is 12 centimeter, then the base is equals to 24 centimeter. And the area of an equilateral triangle is given by root 3 by 4 a square. Using this formula, we get the area as 144 root 3. So our correct answer is option D. The question is, the difference between successive discounts of 40% followed by 30% and 45% followed by 20% on the mark price of an article is rupees 12. The mark price of the article is. Now, let us suppose the mark price as rupees 100. After discount of 40%, it would become as rupees 60, and after the discount of 30%, it would become as rupees 42. Now, if the mark price is rupees 100 and the discount is 45%, then the price would become rupees 55, and after the discount of 20%, the price would become as rupees 44. So there is a difference of 2 rupees when the mark price was rupees 100. So if the difference is 2 rupees, the mark price is 100, and if the difference is 12 rupees that is given in the question, then the mark price would be rupees 600. So the correct answer is option D. The question is, the area of the triangle formed by the graphs of the equation x equal to 0, that is y-axis, 2x plus 3y equal to 6 and x plus y equal to 3. Now, 2x plus 3y satisfy the point 3, 2 and x plus y equal to 3 satisfy the point 3, 3. Now we can see that the x vertex of both the equations is same. So the area of any triangle is given by the formula half into base into height. So the base is same for both the triangles, that is 3. So the area would be half into 3 into 3 minus 2. The height of this equation is 3 and the height of this equation is 2. So we have half into base into height. That would give us half into 3 into 1. So our answer would be 3 by 2. So the answer is 1.5 square units. So the correct option is option B. The question is, among the equations x plus 2y plus 9 equal to 0, 5x minus 4 equal to 0, 2y minus 13 equal to 0, 2x minus 3y equal to 0. The equation of the straight line passing through origin is. The standard equation of a straight line passing through origin is given as y equal to mx, where the c, that is the constant, is equals to 0. Now putting x and y 0 in this equation, we get c equal to 9. In this we get c equal to 4. In this we get c equal to 13. And in this we get c equal to 0. So the equation of the straight line passing through origin is 2x minus 3y equal to 0. So our option is option A.
The question is the HCF of x to the power 8 minus 1 and x to the power 4 plus 2x cube minus 2x minus 1. Now we know that HCF is the highest common factor. It should be a factor of both the expressions. Coming to the first option, that is x square plus 1, this gives x square equal to minus 1. And this gives us the imaginary value. So this option is eliminated. Coming to the next option, x plus 1. This will give x equal to minus 1. When we put x equal to minus 1 in both the expressions, then x equal to minus 1 satisfies both the equations. So this could be the HCF. When we put x equal to 1, this also satisfies both the equations. So this could be the HCF. So combining both of them, we get our answer as x square minus 1. Hence our answer is option C.
The question is, the least number which when divided by 6, 9, 12, 15 and 18 leaves the same remainder 2 in each case is. We'll check with the largest number, that is 18. Dividing 178 by 18, we get the remainder as minus 2. Dividing 176 by 18, we get the remainder as minus 4. Dividing 182 by 18, we get the remainder as 2. Dividing 180 by 18, we get the remainder as 0. So clearly our answer is option B.
The question is, internal bisectors of angle Q and angle R of a triangle PQR intersect at O. If ROQ is equals to 96 degree, then the value of RPQ is. We have a triangle PQR, OQ and OR are the internal bisectors and O would be the incenter. If O is the incenter, then we as all know that 96 degree will be equal to 90 degree plus half of angle P. From this we get angle P is equals to 12 degree. Therefore our answer is option A. The next question is, a certain sum will amount to rupees 12,102 years at 10% per annum of compound interest being compounded annually. The sum is, as the rate of interest is given as 10% and the time period is 2 years, therefore the total rate of interest for 2 years would be equal to 21%. As the combined interest is 21%, so our amount after 2 years will be equal to 121% of the principal. Now in the question, as the amount is given as 12100, therefore the principal would be rupees 10,000. So our correct answer is option D. The next question is, A's 2-day work is equals to B's 3-day work. If A can complete the work in 8 days, then to complete the work B will take. As A's 2-day work is equals to 3 days work of B. Therefore, if A completes the work in 8 days, therefore clearly B will complete the work in 12 days. So our correct option is option D. The next question is, if the measure of 3 angles of a triangle are in the ratio 2:3:5, then the triangle is. Now as we all know, if the sum of 2 angles of a triangle is equals to the third angle, then the triangle is a right angle triangle. If the triangle would be equilateral, then all the angles would be in the ratio 1:1:1. If the triangle would be isosceles, then there would be 2 similar ratios. So let me check. 2 plus 3 is equals to 5. And this happens only in the case of right angle triangle. So our option is option D. The question is, what must be added to each term of the ratio 2:5 so that it may be equal to 5:6? As we can see that the term that should be added to 5 should be a multiple of or factor of 6. Now in this case, if I add 12 to 5, that will give me 17, and that is not a multiple of 6. If I add 75, I would get 83, and that is also not a multiple of 6. If I add 65, I would get 70, and that is also not a multiple of 6. Therefore, if I get 13, I will get the answer as 18, and this is definitely a multiple of 6. So my answer is option D. The question is, if the sum and difference of two angles are 22/9 radian and 36 degree respectively, then the value of smaller angle in degree, taking the value of pi, is 22/7. Now we all know that 22/7 radians is equals to 180 degree. If 22/7 radians is equals to 180 degree, therefore 22/9 radians will come out as 140 degree. Now angle x and angle y. X plus y is equals to 140 degree. X minus y is equals to 36 degree. We have to calculate y, that is the smaller angle. So y would be equal to 140 minus 36 upon 2, and that would give us 104 upon 2 or 52 degree. So our correct answer is option C. The question is, 4 men and 6 women complete a work in 8 days. 2 men and 9 women also complete the work in 8 days. The number of days 18 women complete the work is. Now, as the 4 women plus 6 women does the same work as compared to 2 men plus 9 women. Therefore, from this we get that 2 men's work is equals to 3 women's work. Now, in this, 4 men would become 6 women. 6 women plus 6 women, that is 12 women does the work in 8 days. Now, the number of days in which 18 women complete the work is, as the number of women is 3/2 of the 12. Therefore, the time taken to complete the work will be 2/3 of 8 days, and that would give me 16/3 days, or that is equals to 1/3 days. So my correct answer is option D. The next question is, if x24 plus 1 divided by x12 is equals to 7, and then the value of x72 plus 1 upon x36. In this, we are given that a plus b is equals to 7, and we are asked the value of a cube plus b cube. The value of a cube plus b cube would be equal to a plus b whole cube minus 3ab a plus b. In this, we get a plus b whole cube will be 7 whole cube, that is 343, minus 3 into 1 into 7. This would give me 343 minus 21, and the answer would be 322. That is option D. The next question is, 5x plus 9y is equals to 5, and 125x cube plus 729y cube is equals to 120. Then the value of product of x and y is, now a plus b, that is 5x plus 9y is equals to 5. Cubing both the sides, we get 125x cube plus 729y cube plus 135 into 5xy is equals to 5 whole cube, that would be 125. The value of this is given as 120. So we get 135 into 5xy is equals to 5. So the value of xy comes out 1 upon 135. Hence our answer is option B. The next question is, if 4 women or 8 women can do a piece of work in 15 days. Therefore, I can understand from this question that 1 man's work is equals to 2 women's work. In how many days can 6 men and 12 women do the same piece of work? So 6 men would be equal to 12 women. Now in total, we have that 8 women completes a work in 15 days. So the 24 women will complete the work in 5 days. Because the number of women is 3 times, the time would be 1/3 of 15, and that is equals to 5 days. So our correct option is not given in the question. Coming to the next question, the value of sine square 22 degree plus sine square 68 degree plus cot square 30 degree. The value of cot square 30 degree is 3. Now sine theta is equals to cos 90 minus theta. Therefore, the value of sine square 68 degree could be written as cos square 22 degree, and sine square theta plus cos square theta gives us the value 1. Therefore, 1 plus 3 is equals to 4. Hence, our correct answer is option B. The next question is, find a simple discount equivalent to a discount series of 10%, 20% and 25%. Let me take my mark price as rupees 100. After a discount of 10%, the new price would be 90. After a discount of 20%, that is reducing 18 rupees, we'll get the price as 72. Now, the new price would be 3/4 of 72 and that is equal to 54. The original mark price was 100, the new price is 54. So, in over, there is a discount of 46 rupees or 46%. So, hence my answer is option D. The next question is, if theta be the acute angle and tan 4 theta minus 50 degree is equals to cot 50 degree minus theta, then the value of theta in degrees is. As we all know that tan theta is equals to cot 90 minus theta. Therefore, 4 theta minus 50 degree would be equal to 90 minus 50 degree plus theta. From this we get that 3 theta is equals to 90 degree or theta is equals to 30 degree. Hence the correct answer is option A. The next question is, cost price of 100 books is equal to the selling price of 60 books. The gain or loss percentage will be. Now I can write that CP of 100 books is equals to SP of 60 books. Now my SP will be rupees 100 and my CP will be rupees 60. Therefore, I get a profit of rupees 40 over 60 degree, that is the cost price, into 100. This would be my profit percentage and this would come out as 66.2 by 3%, and hence my answer is option A. If 5 sin theta is equals to 3, the numerical value of sec theta minus tan theta upon sec theta plus tan theta. This could be written as 1 minus sin theta upon 1 plus sin theta. Now, as the sin theta value is given in the question, so it would be 1 minus 3 by 5 upon 1 plus 3 by 5. Solving this, I'll get my answer as 1 by 4. Hence, my correct option is option C. Coming to the next question. If 3/4 of a number is 7 more than 1/6 of that same number, then 5/3 of the number is. As we can see that the number would be a multiple of 4 and 6 and 3. Now, 5/3 of a number is given in the options. So, if the number is into 5 is multiplied by 5 into 3, then that number would definitely be a multiple of 5. So, option C and option B are directly eliminated. Now, if 5/3 of a number is 15, then the number would come out as 9. If 5/3 of a number is 20, then the number would come out as 12. Now, I can see that 9 is not a multiple of 4, but it is a multiple of 3. But coming to 12, it is a multiple of 4 and 6 and 3. Hence, my answer is option D. The next question is, what is the arithmetic mean of first 20 odd natural numbers? Now, as we know that the sum of first n odd numbers is equals to n square. If the sum is given as n square, then the mean would be n square upon n, or I can say n. Hence, our answer will be option D. The another method is like, if the number of terms is even, the mean would be 19 plus 21 upon 2. That would also give me 20. Hence, my correct answer is option D. The next question is, a kite is flying at the height of 75 meters from the ground. The string makes an angle theta where cot theta equal to 8 by 15 with the level ground. Assuming that there is no slack in the string, the length of the string is equals to. Now, we have a triangle. This is the height of the kite from the ground and this is the length of the string. We have cot theta equal to 15, that is base is 8 and the perpendicular is 15 and the hypotenuse will be equal to 17. Now, if 15 is equals to 75, so 17 would be equal to 85 meter. Hence, my answer is option B. The next question is, if a person travels from point L towards east for 12 km and then travels 5 km towards north, reaches a point M, then the shortest distance from L to M is. We are very much clear that the 12 km and 5 km makes a triplet with the 13 km. So we need not also draw the diagram. We can directly click our answer as option D. In an examination, a student must get 36% marks to pass. A student who gets 190 marks failed by 35 marks. The total marks in that examination is. Now, a student gets 190 marks and he got failed by 35 marks. That is 225 marks is equals to the 36% of the maximum marks. So the total marks of the examination can be calculated as 625. So my answer is option B. The next question is, a train 180 meters long is running at a speed of 90 km per hour. How long will it take to pass a post? As you can see that in all the options, the answer is given in the seconds. Therefore, we have to change the speed of kilometers per hour into meters per second. That is done by 90 into 5 by 18. That would give me 25 meter per second. Now, the distance to be travelled is 180 and the speed of the train is 25. This would give me my answer as 7.2 seconds. Hence, my answer is option D. The next question is, an article which is marked at rupees 975 is sold for rupees 897. The discount percent is. Now, the MP is given as rupees 975 and the selling price is given as rupees 897. The difference between them is of rupees 78 and the 78 is the discount that is given on the mark price. So the discount percentage would be equal to 78 upon 975 into 100. Solving this, I will get my discount percentage as 8%. Hence my answer is option D. The next question is, if sec theta plus tan theta equal to P, then sec theta is equals to. Now sec theta plus tan theta is equals to P. As we all know, sec square theta minus tan square theta is equals to 1. From these two equations 1 and 2, we get sec theta minus tan theta is equals to 1 upon P. Now we have to calculate sec theta. So sec theta will be equal to half of P plus 1 by P. Hence my answer is option B. The next question is, if P is equals to 99, then the value of P into P square plus 3P plus 3. Now if I open the brackets, I will get P cube plus 3P square plus 3P. Adding 1 and subtracting 1, I'll get the expression as P plus 1 whole cube minus 1. If the value of P is 99, so I will get 100 whole cube minus 1, that would give me 9. Hence my answer is option A. The other way is that if P is equals to 99 and P is multiplied by this whole expression, therefore the answer would be a multiple of 9 and 11. If there are 3, 8 in this option, then this definitely will not a multiple of 9. The same goes for this and the same goes for this. Hence we are left with only option A. Hence our answer is option A. The next question is, if x is equals to 2, then the value of x cube plus 27x square plus 243x plus 631 is equals to. Now if I can see that this would be equal to 3 into 9 and this would be equal to 3 to the power 5. If I have to make it as a cube, if I have to make 631 as the whole cube, so that this expression's whole become x plus 9 whole cube, then the nearest cube to 631 is 729. Therefore, this will become as x plus 9 whole cube. But it is like, if I add 98 in this and if I subtract 98, this will become as x plus 9 whole cube minus 98. Now the value of x is given as 2. So it will be 11 whole cube minus 98 or 1331 minus 98, and this would give me as answer as 1233. Hence my correct option is option A. Next question is, if DEF are the midpoints of BC, AC and AB respectively of the triangle ABC, then the ratio of area of parallelogram DEFB and area of trapezium CAFD. Now in this we have a triangle A, B, C. D is the midpoint of the side BC, E is the midpoint of the side CA, and F is the midpoint of the side AB. Now we all know that the area of these four triangles are equal. Why? Because the area, this triangle becomes an equilateral triangle. This triangle also becomes an equilateral triangle. This triangle also is similar to the other triangles. So the area of all four triangles is equal. We are asked about the ratio of area of parallelogram DEFB. That is DEFB, that means two equilateral triangles, and in this the area of trapezium CAFD, that is CAFD, the area of three equilateral triangles. Hence we get the ratio as 2:3. The answer is option D. The next question is, if A and B are in the ratio 4:5 and the difference of their squares is 81, what is the value of A? We are pretty much sure that if A is the ratio of 4, then the value of A would be a multiple of 4. So option C and option B are eliminated. Now we have 25 square, 5 square, that is 25, minus 16 is equals to 9. So when 9 is equals to 9, if I say 25x square minus 16x square equal to 9x square. So 9x square would be equal to 81. X would be equal to plus minus 3. Putting the value of 3 in this, we get 4 into 3, that is equals to 12. Hence our answer is option D. Thank you.